Hi guys, how are you doing today? Hopefully you've all survived the snow, the beast from the east last week. We had, I reckon, about 10 centimetres in the end. It was absolutely brilliant. It was more of a shame for my poor 5-year-old boy that was still in plaster cast and couldn't quite make it out into the snow. He was feeling pretty gutted at the time, so yeah, it was good to kind of see it, but not to go out in it. So if you guys are online with me today, give me a little hello. As usual, my phone's playing silly buggers, so I can't see. But if you are online, give me a little wave or a little hello to let me know that you're here and that I'm not just some crazy lady talking to myself, which is also a possibility. So I know that today I said that I was going to talk to you about business vision and how to live it, which I kind of am a little bit, but I also felt like it might be useful to talk a little bit around the way that we work as VAs and kind of the whole collaborative nature of this industry versus the perhaps perceived competition that sometimes exists out there. So as usual, I'm just gonna chat away. If you guys have thoughts, concerns, things to add, please do put them in the comments, and I can now see your comments. Hey Suzanne, hey Claire, hello loves. So put them in and I will obviously come back to you and talk about stuff. If you've got questions, as I say, ask them. So it was of course Office last week here in the UK. Office Show, which is a trade show that's been going for quite a few years. And I really felt for them. So that was being held at Olympia, and I think they had really low numbers because of the snow. Unsurprisingly, not to blame anyone, people did not want to venture out in the snow. So I think they'd expected around 3,000 people, and I don't think they got even close to that, which is a bit of a shame. But it was great to have a stand there. So I was at a funeral, so my lovely team and my lovely members, too many of them to name, but Claire and Kathy and Jules and Gemma and all of you that were really, Tanya, all of you that were really helpful, were all on hand to talk with people and help out. And, you know, prime example, collaboration. So those guys really didn't ask for anything. They just stepped in at the last minute when they found out it was Grandad's funeral and offered me some support. So that was very much appreciated. Thank you to you guys. Yeah, so Office was last week, and it was interesting because we had quite a few people that came to the stand interested, obviously, in what VIP VA do, how to get started as a VA, existing VAs kind of trying to find out what the whole thing is about, what we offer, what we do, and the team were kept on their feet, really, describing that. But one of the things that came up, which I found really interesting, was quite a few people wanted to understand how in practice it worked being connected with other VAs, because obviously we have a successful training academy with VIP VA, lots of people going through our nurture program, which is great, and we've got our membership community. So we've got not only this fabulous hub, and we've got a paid for membership community which has a whole host of benefits as well, and they're all independent VA business owners in that membership community, and people were really interested to know how that works. How could there be a support group for VAs supporting each other as other VAs, because don't they do the same thing, or aren't they in direct competition with each other? So it's been really, this is exactly why I wanted to do this live, because I kind of want to quash that whole theory that because you're a VA you're in competition with other VAs. As VAs, we come from a whole host of backgrounds. I've got people, I mean, obviously there's all of you, and you come from a whole array of backgrounds, but within my members club, because I know them so well, we've got ex-marketing people, we've got a paramedic, we've got people that have done sort of graphic design, we've got ex-HR people, a whole host of trainers, coaches, of people that are running VA businesses. So it makes sense that even if they're offering the same service to the same people, which is quite unrealistic anyway, that actually they're not in any kind of competition with each other, even if they're in the same town, because our clients can be anywhere. And in the end, people work with VAs because they feel a connection, there's a relationship there. It's really unlikely or very infrequent that people just look at a VA's website and go, oh, look, there's a VA, I'm going to work with them. Usually it comes off the back of interaction in groups or networking or recommendation or talking with people and building that rapport, building that connection. And that's what spurs them on to then choose that VA, because they feel not only do they meet the skill set that they need and perhaps the rate that they need and all the other things, but they also have a connection with them, and they feel that they can get on with them, and they feel that they can trust them. And you know, when you're working virtually, that's one of the most important things. So really explaining to people that yes, of course, in theory, you are in competition with other people running other businesses. It doesn't really work like that in practice. VAs as a community are hugely collaborative, because we all come from different backgrounds. We all bring different things to the table, and we all offer different things, or different services and different experiences. That's all adds to us being unique. We're all unique. So there's a lot of cross referral, lots of associate work, lots of stuff like that. So to me, the whole theory about competition is a bit of a myth. So if you're that kind of person sitting there worrying about connecting with other VAs because they might steal your ideas or steal your clients, or it just doesn't happen that frequently. Of course, I'm not saying it never happens. But again, that's why we built VIP VA, was to try and minimise that by getting people in that were running their businesses professionally and ethically and in the right way, and of that sort of collaborative mindset, rather than in that insular, I'm not going to work with anyone kind of way. So I don't know what you guys think about that, whether you've experienced a really collaborative situation, or whether you feel like you've held back on something because of competition, or whether you are fearful to do things because you had a negative experience. Come on, share with me what you guys are doing. Hello everybody. Hey Vicky, hi Stavrula, hey Lisa, hey Shiona, hey Susan, hey Claire. Janet's fine. Hey Shiona. I always explain VA is a process of connection and not the type of service provided. We all have our niches, and we all have our different personality traits and ways of approaching things that make us different as well. So it makes me really sad when I do hear negative situations, and I know that maybe some of you have been through things recently, and I was chatting with someone earlier that had gone through a negative situation and really was fearful then of how to approach that, or how to challenge that situation, because she didn't want to rock the boat. But in the end, being collaborative doesn't have to mean giving up on your own boundaries. The idea about collaboration doesn't have to mean that you have to do what other people say. The idea about collaboration is about being kind, authentic, honest, and open to opportunity, and to open to building relationship. If you feel like you're being forced into a collaboration, or that you must toe the line to be seen as being collaborative, then whatever that is, it ain't collaboration. It's dictation. You make your mind up. But you get what I'm saying. It's if you're being forced to either be a part of something that you don't want to be a part of, or if you're being forced to do things a certain way, or if someone wants to bring you into something that you don't want to be a part of, that's not collaboration. Collaboration is about learning about each other and forming relationships, and doing so in an authentic and honest way. So if you've got a difficult situation that's come up and you perhaps are questioning whether you should be collaborative, think about how truly that collaborative that situation is, and whether it's actually something you want to be a part of. And remember, there's nothing wrong with being yourself and being unique, because remember what I just said, being unique is what makes you you, and what makes clients want to work with you, and what makes this industry as non-competitive as it is. If you start trying to be somebody else, or if you start muffling your voice, or not saying what you think, or not being who you want to be, or not doing things in a certain way, then you are not being authentic to you, and you will lose that uniqueness, and then therefore your connection with your clients. Plus you'll just feel pretty pissed off that you've been stifled in terms of what you want to do. So, hey Maria, keep drinking the Lemsip. Do you know, this actually isn't a Lemsip, this is a tea. One of these tea pigs tea, but oh dearie me, my throat is not good, so you guys might end up losing me at some point. Hi Kathy, proper Wibbly Fest today. So Kathy and I think have done a catch up, a one-to-one catch up, then a members club call, and then I've hopped on here. So she's probably thinking, who the hell is this lady with a croaky voice? She needs to get off. Ah, dear. Chloe, I've just seen your comment. Whenever you watch my videos, I remind you of Kate Middleton. Oh my God, my husband will be so pleased. Oh no, it's Pippa Middleton with a nice bottom, isn't it? Well, anyway, Duchess. Yeah, just call me Duchess, that's fine. I'm happy with Kate Middleton. I'll take that. Oh, hey Nadine, hey Nikisha. Oh dear. So Lucy says, you don't know how people can be anything other than themselves. It would be way too hard to try and keep up your phone voice all the time. Oh my God, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Personally, I'm with you, Lucy, but I think I do understand why sometimes people try and conform, because there's an acceptance there, right? And there's comfort and acceptance, and there's comfort in doing things the way that you've always done them. But nothing good ever came out of staying in your comfort zone or doing things the way that they're always done. You have to step out of that and explore new territories to be able to push things forward and move them forward. And if that's perceived as being wrong, I think about who it is that whose opinions you're relying on there, because that's change makers, that's moving with the times. So if you've got an idea or an opinion, you have to feel free, within reason, nicely, to say it. I think there's a piece in there as well around with collaboration or competition, around being mindful about other people. I've had a really difficult 7 weeks. I had a really difficult year last year after a really bad case of burnout, which saw me, as my members will know, out of work for a while. But then this 7 weeks with Alex being off school with his broken leg has just been a real challenge in terms of finding the time to work. But guys, emotionally, my little boy broke his leg. I've been so high and low on things. And yet, of course, I get people that are throwing crap at me as well. And do they think for 5 seconds about what I might go through? No, they don't, because they're not being, I guess, mindful about whatever might be going on in other people's lives. And I think if you can be anything, always be kind, because the people that send you that shitty email, or somebody that's doing something negative towards you, you don't know what's gone in their life that day or that week or that month. They might be having the absolute time from hell. So I think part of our responsibility as a professional business owner is to be mindful that people, we're emotional. Human beings are emotional, and we will react in a certain way, and we can't always be calm and cool-headed. And sometimes people will say stuff in anger, but if we then respond to that with anger, all we do is exacerbate the situation. So the best thing you can do to remain professional and collaborative and to be, I guess, kind, is just to respond. And you just don't know what's going on in someone's life. So just respond as though, without the emotion, and as though nothing's happened. Obviously, if someone's being really bad, I'm not talking about bullying or trolling or whatever horrible stuff. But I think if it's the odd angry thing where you're like, oh my God, that person was really rude, it might be, you don't always know what's going on in someone's life. So there is a bit about being mindful about other people's personal lives, because not everybody shares stuff on social media. Maria's saying you have to have passion for your client. It's difficult to find them though. Got rid of a client as it was not collaborative. Oh really? Yeah. And that's a suck, right? That's a suck in terms of energy. If it's not collaborative and you start to dread the email coming through or the call and you don't want to pick it up, then actually it becomes completely counterproductive. Vicky, collaboration's the VIP members club. Middle name, I don't know where I'd be without it. Yeah, absolutely. And I was trying to explain, well, I think the guys were trying to explain this on the stand, which is that even within our own members club, we've got people that do similar things or come from similar backgrounds and stuff, but they're each unique in their personalities and their approaches. And the collaboration that goes on in that members club is way more than I ever could have imagined or hoped for. And they're great. They humble me every day because they're just awesome and they get on and it all works. Lucy's saying, yes, Maria, get rid of non-collaborativeness. Non-collaborativeness shall become outlawed. Life is hard enough to have to deal with dictators while you're trying to run your own business. It only brings you down and makes you question what you're doing. Absolutely. I think if you do get to the situation, obviously I'm painting this happy, clappy way of doing business, and that you can only affect the way that you react to things. You can't affect the way that other people choose to run their businesses or put themselves out there on social media or whatever they choose to do. And some people are not able to come from that place. They will only ever come from a place of seek and destroy whatever they put out there. But all you can do is affect the way that you respond to that. And if you're responding to that with openness and professionalism and love, dare I say it, then that's absolutely all you can do. You've now made me miss my point, Lucy, because your point was good. Can't remember what I was going to say. Yeah, sorry, I was going to say, so obviously I'm talking about this happy clappy place where everyone's lovely and we all are very mindful of each other, and in reality that doesn't always happen. So what is it you can do if you're met with that negativity or that backlash against you, or somebody not wanting to collaborate or not liking what you do, or yeah, sorry, I'm just looking at Claire's comment. I do feel it's been far too easy for people to be rude now. Instead of thinking before they speak, we all have off days and tons of shit thrown at us, but we can't all go around being rude. I know. And the barrier of social media, right, when it's just a screen in front of you and you type it and it's gone, makes it easier for people to do that. But I don't know about you, but I still get really hurt by people's words, whether I read them or I hear them. So when people write stuff, I can still sit there and go, oh my God, I can't believe people have put that. That's really upsetting. But yeah, I totally agree, Claire. It becomes so much easier to do that. Sorry, babe. Sorry, Luce, I'm back on it. What does your mug say? Oh, I'm sorry. It says, do what you love. Susan, sorry. It says, do what you love. Which is my mantra, really. And I only do what I love. Which is usually looking after my 5-year-old with a broken leg. Anyway, my point was going to be, when you're met with people that are not in that collaborative mindset and are not perhaps being negative towards you and all that stuff, all you can do is hold your head high. But I think the other thing that you need to think about is in difficult situations is being mindful about what's going on for them, but also about wondering where it's coming from. And if you're anything like me, I take negativity quite to heart. I'm a soft and fluffy person on the inside, and quite often on the outside, especially in the wintertime. And I take it to heart, but I think you usually need to understand that if somebody's being negative towards you or are trying to be mean, sounds like something you'd say in a playground, but you know what I mean, then it usually says more about them and what's going on for them than it does about what you're doing. So don't let it sway you from whatever it is that you're trying to achieve or what you're trying to do. If you can hold your head high and carry on regardless, then that's the absolute best thing you can do. No retaliations, no public namings and shamings or whatever, because I think that just wouldn't help either of you. But I think if you can hold your head high, and in the worst case scenario, if it's all getting too much, there's always block and delete. So if you've got somebody that's on Facebook or social media that's doing stuff that's not making you happy or not adding to your journey at all, don't give them your power. Block and delete, and that way you don't have to see their stuff. It still exists. They can go on and do what they need to do, but then you don't have to see it, and that can be one of the most empowering things possible, because in the end, remember, you're all on your own journey. You're all on your own authentic mission to do whatever it is that you're doing as a VA business owner, but it doesn't mean that you need to listen to any of the other crap that's going on for somebody else. So block and delete is one of the most empowering things I ever discovered. Sorry, so Claire said, I had one bloke, I'm really losing my voice now, I had one bloke be really rude to me on a local page. He was horrendous, but funnily when we met he was very sheepish. Oh, I bet he was, because he saw that he'd seen it, what he'd written on the local page. It's very easy to not notice burnout, Charlotte. I've been there too, and us VAs have to be very careful. You always look for... Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, Maria. I don't feel great today, but last year was tough because I didn't see it coming, and the burnout, one of our big themes at Elevate last year was around self-care and Self-Care September, and about spotting the signs of burnout and really taking the time, even when you're sitting there saying, I don't have time to take time for myself, how destructive that can be for you, because I just didn't see it coming. And then the heaviness of being in total burnout and not able to even, I was able to get out of bed, but not wanting to do anything, the upset that it caused. I wasn't a good mum, I wasn't a good wife, I wasn't a good friend, and I certainly wasn't a good leader. It was palpable, and it was horrible and crushing, and I just didn't see it coming, I guess is what I'm saying. And I think your mental health is the most important thing, and you can't pour from an empty cup. So taking regular, I suppose it's like regular exercise, isn't it? Taking regular measures to prevent being at burnout is really important, rather than getting to that point and suddenly going, oh God, I'm nearly at burnout, I need to go and put a plaster over this thing. You need to be taking regular care of yourself, whether that's 15 minutes a day to do some yoga, whether it's a spa day every week, whatever that self-care looks like to you, as little or as large as that is. Making sure that you take the time for that is absolutely crucial to your business success, but in reality, to your own survival. So absolutely, don't learn the hard way. Stavroula says, I contacted 3 VAs in my local area to introduce myself and say, hi, I'm happy to collaborate, work as an associate. Not a single one replied to me. Maybe try a group, Stavroula. Whereabouts are you? That's a shame. I mean, again, I think it's, some people will not want to collaborate and they will see competition, and that's fine, and that's their thing. So they're not going to be right for you to collaborate with anyway. And again, it depends what they view collaboration as. But I think networking with your own peers is one of the most important things you can do, because of the way that we work as VAs, not only from a support point of view, like the guys get in the members club, but also from a cross referral of work, or a taking on associates, or a learning point of view. It's just good sense. And if it's local and you can meet up for a coffee or a glass of wine or whatever it is that keeps you sane, all the better. So I think it's quite short-sighted for people that don't want to network with their VA peers. But again, each to their own. You'll all find your own path. Harrow, we might have, I'm trying to think where your nearest VIP VA group is. Let me have a think about it. But we've got one in South East London, one in Essex. We've got a few going at the moment. So if there's one nearby, then you should definitely come along, because we're only about collaboration. We've got an event on the 22nd of March as well, which is just a come along informal event, come along for a drink and meet other VAs, which is in London. I'll put the link in here, or if Claire's online, Claire, do you know where the link is? Then come along and join that, because it would be lovely to meet some hubbers face to face as well. Lucy's saying, I always tell myself I don't know what the other person is dealing with, be it sickness, an argument with family, car, being scratched, who knows? Show them kindness and it carries on without any change of behaviour or tone. Wave bye-bye. You can sleep well knowing you showed your best and honest self. The rest is their issue. Couldn't have said it better myself. Absolutely. Oh, dearie me. So Croydon. There's one in Croydon as well. So yeah, sorry for the change in topic, but I think with lots of the comments from Office last week, and then a couple of situations that have occurred for some of my close friends this week, I just wanted to talk about the spirit of collaboration and competition, and how truly I believe that actions speak louder than words, and you can put collaboration on your forehead with a sticky note if you want, but if you aren't living and breathing it, then you can't claim to be collaborative. But as an industry, luckily for us, we're all pretty collaborative, so we just need to make sure that we are doing that in a way that feels right for us. And as I said earlier, collaboration isn't about bending over and sharing your trade secrets and doing everything that everybody else wants you to do. It's about supporting each other in a sensible way and building a relationship. So if that feels like it's right for you, then go ahead and do it. So don't leave me here on my own, guys. Come on, share some of your collaboration or competition stories and we'll have a chat about it. Just looking at my notes here, I think there's an ethical bit about it as well for me. Right from the beginning, right from the inception of VIP VA, when Amanda and I set it up, we really wanted a place where we could talk with other VAs about their experience, but support them as well and be supportive, but also have like a code of conduct, an ethical code of conduct in the way that people should be dealing with business. So part of that is around, what you do and don't do online. They're after me. What you do and don't do online, but there's also a bit about kind of communication, and if a difficult situation arises where, can't think of one now, but if you've let somebody down, or if you've run out of money and you're meant to pay someone, or whatever it ends up being, I don't know, then you feel able to have that honest and open and frank conversation with them, rather than hide away and not talk about it, because in the end, that's not going to help anyone. So communication is absolutely key. You could head northwest to the Shires. Kathy will have further details of the Aylesbury group. Yeah. So Kathy's part of a group called Vibrant VA, Powerful PA. And she's also got a Buckinghamshire PA network. She's part of that, which is really, they do some really great events. So definitely worth having a think about if you're after networking with other people. So anyway, that's my 2 pennies worth. Hopefully that's okay. So collaboration all the way for me. That's what I'm about. You can pick what's right for you, but if you're feeling like you're being met with competition or negative stuff coming your way, just remember not to give people your power. Don't get caught up in all the hype, because you just need to rise above it and realise that we don't know what's going on in someone else's life. It probably says more about what's going on for them than it does about what you're doing, and you just need to stay true to whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. Claire says collaboration all links heavily with trust and integrity. Integrity. Yes, hugely important attributes to me. I would say in any other world, Vicky would be my closest competitor because we come from the same background almost exactly. However, I would say my biggest collaboration is with Vicky because we know each other. I couldn't do this without her, but I imagine there are people out there who know us both who can't believe we're not fighting each other for clients. Yeah, on paper, you guys look similar, but in person, you couldn't be more different. And that's weird and wonderful, and I totally get why you guys are closest collaborators, because you get each other and you understand each other and you can help each other, and you, more importantly, you get that some clients are going to love the Vicky way and some of them are going to be Team Lucy. So that's what it's all about. And the ones that come your way that are Team Vicky, you can pass across to Vicky, and the ones that come across that are Team Lucy, Vicky can pass over to Lucy. Oh, love you, Vicky. I love you guys. So that's how it works. And it sounds very corny now, but that's how it works. So anyway, hopefully that's made some sense to you guys. I'm really sorry that my throat seems to be going now, but hopefully that's a useful one. I'll be back here again in a couple of weeks. So I do these lives every other week. So when's the next one? The next one will be on the 20th of March. So I'll be talking then about self-belief and confidence. So how you can kind of move past those self-limiting beliefs, which we all have, creeping in there and telling us that we can't do it, and how you can really move forward from those to try and create success. So have a really, really, really good day. Oh, I've just seen that Kathy's commented as well. Sorry. Dee and I are banned from speaking at local events we both go to. People think we hate each other, but actually we're just in danger of nattering the whole event and not now networking. Yeah, I can imagine that about you and Dee. Anyway, have a really good afternoon, guys. Chat soon. Bye.